Everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. Now, if you're wondering which 10th year anniversary LR character to get with your Purunga Dragon Ball wish, alright? I already covered that in a separate video where I talk about what to do with your 10th anniversary coins. Before we go any further, no matter what, don't rush to spend your wish. If you're not sure who to get, don't rush to spend it. Especially if we don't know what kind of damage these fights are about to do in, the same day the wish comes out, right? This is probably the, toughest guy you have to deal with. Turn 1, and he drops 2 of these 6 million super attacks. And until you start hitting him, he doesn't get weaker. He does eventually drop down to 2.4 million. So for those that already spent their coins, and then now they're like, oh man, we could have waited, and nobody knew, but we could have waited, and we could have got a free wish and then saved our coins for a later time. Just wait. If you're on the fence about the character, just wait. With that said, I'm gonna cover the 2024 characters and the units I think are worth mentioning here. All right. So, the Daima characters, Goku and Glorio. I do not recommend them because they're going to come back in the spring and you can get them with coins, right? So they're not too far behind. I also don't recommend Tech UI Goku. He's like 4 weeks away from returning, right? Just 1 more month less. I would wait for him. Cell Max, his restrictions kind of just hold him back too much. He's cool, but if the fight's going beyond like 5, 6... If the fight goes... Okay, let me say this. If he gets caught late in the fight without his active skill at 55%, you're through, especially if it's not type advantage, right? Because he's going to sit around like a million defense. But that's just a million defense. No damage reduction, no guard, nothing. Just a million defense, and that's him. That's what you get, all right? So, at 55%, I got him. I got him when he came back, but I could not recommend him for the wish. There are characters that are far better than him. Now, if you need him for the artificial life form mission somewhere that you haven't done yet, you know what? Good luck, but the Super Easy A... I think Janemba fits that role now. So, Cell Max is even less relevant. Alright, with that said, let's dive into the characters I did personally select and sift through. From least recommended to most, and all these characters have their... have good qualities about it. Vegeta. What's good about him? Alright? He can run the new Dokkan Fest on his team, and they will be under 200%. So if you're a Vegeta fan, like me, hey, 55%, not too bad. You can run him on their team as well. I don't know if he gets the full 220%. I didn't look too hard into it. I have Dokkan pulled up right here. I guess real quick, let's go see, because I just got done running his team. Gifted Warriors, that's 1. And just 1. All right, Gochida's team, 220%. All right. Now, with that said, he cannot survive Frieza's super attack the first time you see it. It doesn't happen. He can't tank it, but he's still a really good tank to start off the fights. And with the Gochidas and the Vechitos on the team, and you can put revives on his own team or on their team. There are ways for him to be useful and valuable. He's the honorable mention, right? Because he cannot himself survive the super attack, right? And I made a special, I used that fight not for every character on this list, but just for him because, I don't want to be biased because I'm a Vegeta fan. Get Vegeta, so I put a criteria to him. Can he survive that attack as the strongest attack in the game right now? The answer is no, all right? So there's the information there. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. One reason I recommend him is because Majin Buu Saga is still in a very strong place, and he's good for his first 5 turns or so. Or the first 3 turns you see him. The second reason is because Glorio does go on his team, and he can buff Goku, which a 55% Goku with any buffs looks way better. Still a little bit scary when he's on the team, especially if you have to put him in slot 1, but way better because Glorio can exist on his team and buff him. Those are the two main reasons, all right? It's still a little bit scary, and maybe you could, you listening to me, he should be an honorable mention too. Maybe you're right, all right? Everyone else after this, though, definitively, I could be like, look, these are the reasons, and yeah, I have no regrets on my recommendations. Gotenks, all right? Gotenks can be ran in slot 1, and maybe you live untouchable in slots 2 and 3, essentially, all right? He is a 200% of Majin Buu Saga, so he's a very solid leader. The category's in a very, very good place. Fingers crossed. I don't think we're going to see major power creep with the next few fights that come out. I really don't, but, here's to hoping, all right? And that's it. There's really nothing else to talk about. Final Trump cards are all over the place. His restrictions aren't too big of a deal. And that's that, man. Slug and Buhan. The reasons I recommend these guys is because they're villains. A lot of times when we get villains, we get them during times where, for me, Buhan and Slug both dropped in the fall after the Worldwide. I was done summoning for the year because the anniversary global was catching up. We just came off of our anniversary into the Worldwide. Going into the anniversary, I had no time, or I had no stones to summon for this guy or Slug, so I had to let them go, all right? Because they're villains, and villains are in a great spot, and for villains to continue staying in a great spot, either power creep needs to stop, or you need to keep getting the good villains. These guys are great villains. Slug's team is phenomenal, probably better than Buhan's, to be honest, because you're going to get more villains on it. But Buhan's transformation boost is always going to be good. Hey, as long as Buhan can survive in slot 3, the Super Saiyans and everyone that transforms, they'll carry him through, all right? So the transformation boost is, will age forever gracefully. And that's kind of it, nothing too much about them. I think, as villains, it would be crazy for me to not recommend 2 good villains, especially with Demonic Power and Daima, Dragon Ball Daima. Buffing this as the year goes on, right? All right, now we dive over to Int Fat Buu. Int Fat Buu still has a lot of utility today, and I can use his team right now and beat the Golden Frieza stage because his team specifically, because you can delay this Frieza twice, and you can get nearly, depending on the team, you can get up to 20 hits on Frieza. And once you do, this 6 million attack turns into 2.4 million. That's it. One of the toughest fights in the game, and guess what? Boo's good. Oh, well, what about fights that are tough right from the beginning? He'll revive himself. If everyone else on the team can survive, trust me, he'll make it through. You'll get through the beginning of that fight, all right? And you won't fail because of him. It just isn't happening. All right, so not yet. Not yet. And that's why I recommend him. He's aged phenomenal. I've liked him ever since I got him. And I had to coin him. It took me a while to get him. And he, even at 55%, he is a gem of gems when it comes to, I need a really solid unit. I need a lot of utility. This is the guy. He fits on the team. Let's get him in there. All right. AGL Jiren. The biggest reason I put him up here, you got all the 10th anniversary units. You got the STR Vegeta. You want to run his 220%. You're going to need a slot 1 unit. This guy, turn 1, is not slot 1. But the only people that are turn 1 slot 1 are AGL Goku, as long as you can dodge, Int Evolution Blue Vegeta. After turn 1, Int Evolution Blue Vegeta may not be the slot 1 unit you want to be put in slot 1. That's where Jiren comes in. Just put Vegeta slot 2, Jiren slot 1, stand by him, proceed to win the fight. I never take him out of standby. Once I put him in standby, I never take him out. And the fight's usually done before his standby runs out. So it's not like I'm forced. I choose not to, because the slot 1 options for Universal Survival Saga are that small. All right? And the Frieza and Goku, unfortunately, were not the slot 1 units. I was really hoping they were going to be for Universal Survival Saga. So he's like a necessary evil for the team. And he's very tanky. Give him 5 orbs and standby, untouchable. 10 years from now, if you can get this guy in standby without, you know, him costing the team, he will not let you down. The bosses could be doing 55 million attack stats, and he could have, and without his easy A, he would still survive it. All right, and standby. Int Broly and Tech Broly. Int Broly is my favorite unit from 2024. I think he has the best team of 2024. He was the MVP of 2024. And you didn't even have to utilize all of his kit. You didn't have to revive. You didn't need the extra support, right? So even him being underutilized because the events couldn't really destroy his team, that just made him look like a better unit. Now, we've gotten a few more movie bosses, so movie bosses might be, you know, Tech Broly's team might be better, right? You could probably argue it as better, and I could be like, sure, but I mean, I'm with Int Broly. However, he's way up on this list as recommended only if, and I know this is a big if, you can run a full uncontrollable power team. There's like 11 units now you can run on the team that are super good, right? And if you cannot do that, I cannot recommend them, because the moment a fight comes out that's one phase, let's say Jiren is one phase, it's just boom, Jiren, 10 million attack stat, right? And because he has a domain or a territory, and you need Int Broly to take that away, but you have one unit on your team that's not uncontrollable power, good luck. I hope you're dodging. Right? And at 55%, you're only getting so much dodge on that unit. So he might be the reason you don't make it out alive. So I recommend him, but only if you can build a competent, uncontrollable power team. Moving on to Tech Broly. Tech Broly is the same reason. There is no restriction that holds him back. He has no link set you have to worry about. There's no defensive links that he needs to activate for him to be good on all of his teams. He is consistent no matter where you put him. All right? That's why I would put him above Int Broly, if, you know, because you have a choice. And, you know, I'm not going to let my bias get in the way of that, right? Hopefully this video helps. That's kind of all I got to say about it. You know, I brought up everyone's strong point. Again, Tech Broly is the, you know, first and foremost option if you're not sure, you're looking for the strongest unit. If you're just looking for you're looking for opinions of other units, you know, probably nobody mentioned this guy at all, right? Some people probably aren't even talking about Fat Boo, because they're Fat Boo, why would I recommend that? And some people are like praising this guy as like the number 2 pick out of these, and I'm just like, I can't see it, right? The Majin Buu Saga team is so powerful without him. He's like not even necessary, right? So that's how I see it. With that said, but he is a yellow coin LR, and the sooner you get your 55% copy of that, the sooner you don't have to hope you get them later or hunt for them later, right? So with that said, I'm out of here. Best of luck. Remember, do not spend your wish right away. Just wait to see what the events are bringing us. And if we don't see like a super duper crazy power creep, you know, I think that's a very, very good spot. I actually talk about that in the last video I put out, where I talk about, you know, the vision of the developers and what they stated and what I think they're trying to go for, and why the community is pretty hard divided in how they feel about the anniversary so far. I'm out of here. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Peace out, and I will see you next time.